Previously on Starting Over, Jennifer and Lou had to face the issues they avoided so they could keep up the image of a perfect marriage.
What are those things that have happened that aren't resolved, that are the its, that you kind of just hope go away, that you'd like to avoid?
Despite a lot of work with Iyanla, Simon continued having a hard time opening up about his emotions.
It's so hard for me to tell how I feel.
Maybe you never developed the language for it.
Michael learned the anger he felt towards his mom when his parents divorced was affecting his relationship with Jacqueline.
Just look at how you hold your mother guilty. You know where that's showing up? And how Jacqueline holds you guilty.
And Iyanla told him he had to be willing not only to forgive his mother, but walk away from Jacqueline if he had to.
Are you willing to let Jacqueline go if you have to stay in a relationship like this?
Yes.
One house.
I need a second chance.
Women from all walks of life. Striving. Bonding. Reinventing themselves.
This house changed my life.
Starting over. Life has never been this real.
I am willing to walk away from you if this is how I have to live.
He's a prisoner of me, and I'm sad by the fact that that's the way that I have been treating Michael.
I understand. And I don't blame you for feeling that way.
I want you to forgive me for what I did and not hold me guilty and take these off.
I was making Michael feel guilty so that I could punish him, so that he would continue to prove his love to me. I'm scared to lose him. I can't imagine a day in my life without him in it.
And give her her cuffs and her chain. You're a free man, Mr. Michael. And one of the things you must do in honoring yourself is clean it up with your mom. You have to. You're doing it to clean the guilt out of your heart so that you never have to put those on again for anybody. So, Miss Jacqueline, we're gonna work together to figure out why you need those. Not to be ashamed, baby, you just didn't know. You just didn't know. That's why you're here. Yeah.
Miss Jacqueline really gets it intellectually. She knows that she must stop punishing Michael and forgive him, but she's stuck somewhere in the middle of being ready to forgive him and being afraid that she'll lose him if she can't control him.
What's your plan for today?
What do you mean?
What's your plan of attack, so to speak? Are you gonna invite everything, or are you gonna keep on being
I'm
silent?
gonna do my best. And, cause
Have you been doing your best?
I've been trying. It's just I don't know how to. I've been given the tools, I just gotta use them now.
Okay, well no, that's not it yet, man.
No, that isn't. Because I feel toxic inside. Like, a lot of times I'm tired, and I know it's because of everything I'm holding on inside.
Well, I think toxic is a great word for it, and you must feel like you You want to cleanse.
Yeah.
Simon and I have a meeting of the minds. He's making progress, but I feel like there's still a little something, maybe a big fat something that Simon has not let go of yet.
But you know what? I have a hard time getting it out.
I hear you, because it's scary, it's painful.
I feel pain, I feel sad, dude, but I don't know what it is or how to express it. My emotions are killing my body and me and my soul. I know I need to release it. I know I still have a lot to let go. You waiting for my breakdown or my breakthrough?
Both, man, because you can't break through until you break down.
What are you thinking about it all?
I think even before I cheated on you, I think you were controlling me a little bit.
I recognize that too, because I came to the relationship with expectations, and that scared you.
By letting you be able to control what I do, I got frustrated with not having my own power. And so I did the opposite of what you wanted me to do.
By cheating on me?
I felt like maybe I hit bottom and was just so frustrated and scared of not having that power that I did something that was terrible and not the correct way in dealing with it.
I have to accept that I played a part in this just as much as you did. It scares me that there's so many layers to our problems, and there's so many deeper issues than we ever knew were there before. And I'm definitely learning that there's a lot more work that needs to be done in our relationship.
But yeah, so it's gonna, the dynamic of our relationship is probably gonna take on a little bit different type of a feel, and it's just like, it's exciting to see how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's on today with Simon. Y'all bury the hatchet on him every minute. Simon has not yet gotten anywhere. He's holding on to some scary people inside of him. Last night I didn't talk or anything. I was trying to really go to sleep instead of getting into the big talk that he and I always do. I woke up a little while later and he had cried himself to sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's the man of steel.
Nice man.
Good morning. Good morning. Come on, gang. We're going out this door. I've got a really big surprise for the starting over couples today. I have a very clear demonstration of the current state of their relationships. I'm telling you that's what's happening. And what I'm seeing in front of me right now, Miss Casey, is manipulation.
6 new women share their powerful stories.
I forget I'm 38 years old. I still think I'm 21.
Coming in 10 days.
What have we here?
A dirty, ugly car.
So, this car is a metaphor for your relationships. And just like this car, your relationships are in kind of bad shape, a little beat up. That doesn't mean you throw something away because it's beat up. It means you have to do the work. You gotta do inside, you gotta do outside. Have to keep it in good running order if you want the car to move, right? Well, your relationships are the same way. Your job, as we move into our next rule of engagement, is to get this car in good working order.
Thank you.
So each of you is gonna have to make a list of repairs. What needs to happen to get this car up and running? And then what you want to do is you want to determine who's going to work on what. Because the only way this car is going to get in good running order is through cooperation. Cooperation in the couple, cooperation among the couple. So, get to work, my dear people.
Give me a manual. That's all I need.
Hey, watch out. We're about to try to start it.
It's not turning over.
Does it have AC?
Yeah, it has AC.
Does it work? Do the door locks work?
Yeah.
Oh, the fluids are lower.
Battery's probably dead.
All right, so is that everything? We should start figuring out who's gonna fix what.
Hey, well, I'll do the front tire.
How about you change the front tire and we'll wash it?
Okay, well, we'll wash the inside.
Y'all wash the inside, we'll do the outside. You and Simon?
Yeah.
Y'all got that so far?
So I've got front right tire is flat, and I'm going to take care of that. Mike and Jacqueline are going to do what they need to do to get the rear windshield safe. Myself and Jennifer are going to clean the outside of the car, and Casey and Simon are going to clean the inside.
Oil change and other fluids?
Trey can do that. Let him.
And the rear dome light needs to be replaced.
Yeah, I got you there. Cheryl, you'll be assistant to Troy. You'll be Troy's gopher for some of his hard work.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Okay,
I'm
good.
his apprentice.
All right.
Yeah. This thing's pretty jacked up.
Morning.
How we doing? Good. It's important that we understand in relationships how we deny the truth of who we are, and particularly as we look at this new rule of engagement, cooperation. Because only two powerful people can cooperate. But what happens is when we're not sure about our power, we compete. Power doesn't compete with power. Power blends with power. That's what cooperation is about. Learning how to merge, not standing on your position, not holding your place, but allowing each individual to show up authentically. And when there isn't cooperation, when there aren't two powerful people merging, what we get is codependence. Tell me how this goes on in your relationship.
All my relationships in my immediate family are codependent, so I just don't think I know how to have a not codependent relationship.
Mr. Liu, how do you define codependence?
For me, not being the man, not growing up for her, not taking responsibility for myself, letting her take responsibility for me is how I do it. That's the core of it, I think.
And you know what the most telltale sign of that is? The fact that you say not growing up for her.
Right.
Codependence.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Miss Cheryl.
I live through him. If he's not happy, I'm not.
Enmeshed boundaries, where I don't know where you stop and I begin. By a show of hands, tell me if any of this sounds familiar. I won't change if you don't change. Who's there? How about this one? I won't call you on your destructive behavior if you don't call me on my destructive behavior. Who's there? Yeah. So let's get down and dirty, people. This is it. You know how I think of it? Your life is on the line. This is the poison in the relationship. The codependence is the poison. I manipulate you to get my way. Who can own that? Okay. How do you do it, Miss Jacqueline?
I manipulate you by reminding you of how I was hurt. I use that to make you feel bad for me so that you will continue to work harder on the relationship and show me that you love me.
Jacqueline seems to be right on target. She knows exactly what it is that she does to manipulate Michael. Now that he knows she manipulates him, I wonder if she's going to take full responsibility for her behavior and change. Mr. Simon, how do you manipulate Casey?
I didn't want her hanging out with her friends because I thought they were a bad influence on her.
What is it about your friends that he doesn't like?
Anybody that I bring home to you, Simon, you don't like them.
Miss Casey, I want you to make a distinction. A distinction. You're not 7, you're not 6, you're not 5, and your power is yours. So you may want to work with not responding to every situation as though you're 6 or 7, as though you have no voice, as though you're not being heard, as though you don't matter. Set an intention to do that. I'm looking at Miss Casey's body language, her facial expression, and the tone of her voice, and I realize Miss Casey isn't here. Instead, we have a 7-year-old, and Miss Casey isn't even aware of it.
I don't like when you say don't be 7. I feel that's insulting.
No, it's not insulting.
I don't like it, though.
But it's not about what you like. It's about what you do, and it's about breaking the pattern. You weren't even aware of it till you hit the room.
I don't
That's
think
what you
just because
do.
I'm getting emotional, I'm turning 7 years old.
I'm telling you, that's what's happening. That's the pattern. You cry, he runs. You cry, he withdraws. And what I'm seeing in front of me right now, Miss Casey, is manipulation. Because it continues to perpetuate the pattern.
You think I like crying? Do you
Yes.
think I like feeling this pain?
There's a distinction between crying and feeling the pain.
I don't like crying. I don't like being weak. I don't like that.
Well, then why do you do it? Can I offer you something, Miss Casey? It's manipulative. It's manipulative that every time you get to a difficult situation, you break down.
I don't think that I'm manipulating my husband by breaking down.
Well, I'm offering you that you do.
It doesn't even affect him, so how
It does affect him.
I
It
manipulate
pushes him
him?
deeper into the shell, and the two of you never get to the real problem. What I'm offering you is another way. Just try it. Healing is hard work, particularly when you've been stuck in a pattern for a long time. My investment is in your healing. And if you knew what that was going to look like, Miss Casey, you would have done it by now. I'm taking Miss Casey to a very uncomfortable place because I want her and Mr. Simon to recognize their pattern. Until they recognize their pattern, they are powerless to change their pattern. Mr. Simon, tell her how you manipulate her.
I want to let you know that I'm having a hard time answering a lot of these questions because I feel so out of touch with my emotions.
That's an excuse. Okay, so let's make a choice right now, okay? Let's make a choice right now. Set a clear intention. It is my intention to be in touch with my emotional self right here, right now. And all you have to do is look at your behavior. You may not feel it because you're shut down, but look at your behavior. How do you manipulate her?
I manipulate you by denying you of me.
And what does that do? When you deny her your presence, when you're emotionally unavailable to her, what does that do to her?
I'm punishing you.
Powerful acknowledgement. What do you hope to get out of that, Mr. Simon? Tell her what you hope to get.
I want to punish you because I feel you're punishing me. I feel that you withhold information from me, that you won't be intimate with me.
Why would you think she would punish you, Mr. Simon? Tell her what you think she's punishing you for.
Because I'm not good enough.
This is huge. I mean, this is really huge. Simon is finally ready to take a risk, open his heart, and feel his feelings. I'm not good enough because, come on, speak it, Simon.
Because I'm not a movie star.
Yeah.
I'm not Brad Pitt. I'm not buff. I'm not perfect.
Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Because I'm going to show you that you are absolutely worthy of just being loved and comforted. Just absolutely worthy. Who you are is enough. Just as you are right now in this moment. You don't have to do another thing. You don't have to know another thing. You don't have to have another thing. Can you hear me? You don't have to believe me, just hear me. Okay? Who you are is enough. And you matter. Tell her, I matter.
I matter.
Tell him, you matter to me.
You matter to me, Simon.
Yes. When you really, really, really get ready to heal, it becomes too painful to withhold yourself, deny yourself, lie to yourself. It becomes too painful for you to do it. So what we do is we project it out on our partner. And let me explain to you what has happened, Simon. It has become too painful for you to deny who you are in the presence of love. Because love brings up everything unloving. So the more she loved you, the more unloving it felt. And you spent all your time suppressing it. And Miss Casey, if I didn't love you so much, I would apologize. But since I love you, I'll just say, forgive me for taking you to the places you have been previously unwilling to go. So Rhonda and I are going to meet with you later this afternoon. We'll meet you back at the car, because just like a marriage, just when you think you got a handle on things, something else comes up that you have to deal with. Have a good day, folks.
That was just interesting to see.
You know, I want to reach out to Simon, but I don't know if it's appropriate. You know, there's times when you just want to hug him, and I don't know if Casey would be upset about it, or, you know, I don't know their boundaries. I sort of see this gentle soul inside of Simon. I mean, he just seems like a fragile child.
Well, that's the thing, he took a big step and he opened up more today than I thought. Casey went from trying to get him to open up to totally shutting down once he did.
Or like trying to shut him down, either way. It's not
She's
just
being manipulative. I'm sure she doesn't realize she's doing it. She doesn't mean it. And I think that's the point Yala was trying to make. Be open to the idea that you could be wrong. That maybe you are, subconsciously manipulating him by crying.
It just hurt my feelings every time she would call me a 7-year-old. I couldn't take it.
That's not what she's trying to tell you.
I feel like I was getting attacked, and maybe I wasn't, but I felt that. I just need you to understand me.
I do understand that.
Okay, I don't need you to say anything, but just understand me. And be on my side, because I just felt like nobody's on my side. Just be there for me and just say you understand, even if you don't. Okay?
Here, you guys want to go check out the car?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man.
They do. It's dinner. That's nice.
Shut up. Ew, and it smells really bad. The car is actually trashed, and it's definitely not what we had seen earlier this morning.
Was the taillight like that?
I don't think so.
Are you serious?
So this vehicle represents my marriage or my husband?
The state of your relationship.
The state of my relationship is rancid. Who's willing to get dirty?
Are we willing to get dirty? Because that's what it's going to take.
To me, this is not how dirty am I willing to get. That's a figurative thing. I'm not mucking around in that muck.
They need to clean this car, or they need to pack their bags.
I want to push the car in the pool.
You could be the next starting over housemate. Call our casting hotline at 1-888-633-8149 or visit startingovertv.com.
There's a point to the addition, and I want to know what that point is.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? What's that about? What's the addition about?
I think that this is representative of the worse it is, the less we want to work on it. We were ready to come down here and fix it this morning because it really wasn't that bad. It was just filthy.
This would be
and
easier
it
to call a
needed
tow
a few
truck.
minor touches, And now we come down here and it's worse.
And
now we're like, I don't want to do it. I am definitely not ready to walk away from the car. I think that there's a lesson to be learned, and I really am wanting to work on it.
The inside of the car is Casey and Simon. And if the significance of this filthiness that they've put in there is significant to
Casey
Simon and Casey, I'll still clean the outside, but I will not. I'm not getting that stuff on me. What a drag. I'm clean today. I don't want to be in the heat anymore. I don't want to clean the dust and the dirt off this car. It's chock full of trash, and not just trash, but covered in basically throw up. It's smelly. It seems like an amalgam of different food and slime. You know, Cheryl was ready to dive in the muck, so I'll let her.
Smell it.
Baby, what do you think about my attitude? Am I being a brat to not want to clean that
No,
stuff
I feel
up?
like you have shown nothing but a willingness to participate to this point.
To this point.
Right, to this point, but I'm pretty much on the same page with you.
Honestly, I just don't appreciate the position that they've taken because it seems kind of arrogant, like they're too good. But the rest of us aren't too good. So it is a bit frustrating to listen to.
The car represents our relationship.
Well, that's right, but
Okay.
So you should be willing to get in there and clean this.
I'm willing to let y'all do that.
she doesn't look very talked into it.
Are you guys feeling a little, just like a little awkwardness in your guys' relationships now, just because like
Yeah, it's different.
I know, because they said we've been in a relationship for 2.5 years, and now looking back on how it's been codependent, now we're becoming independent and having to come together. It's just like there's a little bit of awkwardness where you're having
We're starting to notice when we're doing it, and we're talking about it after we do it.
Right.
But we haven't started doing it in the moment yet.
Right.
So we have more of an awareness now when we do things.
That one time where I told you like I don't care about I have to be me, it's like I understand that hurts you, but like I can't worry about that. Like I gotta stand up and do what I feel is right, because if I deny that, then it just continues the cycle. Up to this point in our relationship, I'm not sure if me and Jacqueline make a good team, and sometimes it just feels like she's not present, like she's just going through the motions, and it hurts. This boot camp means so much to Jacqueline and I, because if we don't succeed here, I don't know if it can continue after this point.
You know, it's funny because I guess that one could more quickly move into it than the other. You know, like one partner might, they might not necessarily be at the same place, you know.
This place is called Kragen Auto. It's fun because the girls get to go to the auto parts store.
Yeah, I know.
I can't get over how much the guys are involved in the conversations about what's happening, and they're wrapped up in it, literally wrapped up in it. Yeah, I think Lou does a really good job communicating. He's very articulate.
He's trying. I'm seeing a lot of effort, big time.
He's not trusting the process.
I totally disagree.
You don't think he's trusting it?
I think he's been doing great. I think
This
I don't want to
particular
judge him on
exercise?
this one little, but that you just made a very broad statement, though. I don't think he's trusting the process. If you want to say on this particular exercise, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely not.
They can see that Lou and Jennifer are being codependent, and that they're both kind of operating off of each other's energy. I think if Lou doesn't clean the car, there will be consequences. I truly believe that.
This one freaked him out bad, definitely.
So that you understand, I wasn't trying to place judgment on him like that.
Yeah, I think he and I are both just feeling a little defensive. Today's been a really hard day. So I'm sure he's fine now.
Maybe.
Hello.
Hey, it's Mike.
How's it going over there?
It's going good.
Good.
Learning a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
I had a question for you, though.
What's that?
I know with me and Jacqueline, sometimes, just as far as whenever it's just like a trigger for me, if she does something, if she reacts a certain way or does something that even probably remotely reminds me of the way Mom does it, I'll do that where I don't share my feelings with her. I'll just shut down because I feel like it's going to get nowhere. My parents, they had a marriage that was just totally dysfunctional. It was the scariest thing for me as far as being in a relationship that's going to turn out in divorce. It's important to me to have a family and be in a relationship and a marriage that's going to last, and to not put my children through that. And that's where I don't know, like you know how I've been with Mom. One of my goals is just to figure out how to communicate with Mom. I don't know if I'm gonna end up calling her or if I'm just gonna I might just write her a letter and send it to her, because sometimes I don't feel comfortable talking to her, because I think once I get into talking to her, I know she's not a very good listener. And
I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but here's an option. Hi, Mom. Michael. Just called to say hi, see how you was doing real quick, and hope you're having a good day. I'll talk to you later. And she'll say, okay. She'll leave flabbergasted. And then the next time, your conversation might be more pleasant.
Yeah.
You got to learn to just forgive and forget the pain, the anger. That goes away with time, believe me. Emotions are temporary.
Mm-hmm.
And how temporary you want to make them is totally up to you.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, Dad. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, Otto. Just work on it.
I know. I will.
You'll be a lot happier later.
Yeah. I know. I need to be. I love you, Dad.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Casey said, I don't know nothing about this place. I've never been to an electronics store. And I'm like, well, Casey, we're not at an electronics store. We're actually at an auto parts store. We need headlights. The bulbs. We don't have the bulbs.
That's right, okay.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Let's see, wipers, seat covers, wash wax, floor mats, window tint.
I just need a tire gauge. Have you seen one?
I don't even know what that is.
You got it? Do you have you got? Yeah. Okay. This is it.
Oh, who has the car make?
Oh, a 1994 Nissan V6. Is that right?
35.
I'm guessing.
The longer one goes to driver's side, smaller one goes to the passenger.
The longer one is the driver's side. Gotcha.
Driver needs to see another passenger.
Yeah.
Okay, longer is for the driver.
Oh, look, wait, do we need to retint the back window? Here's tint film.
No, we're not retinting it.
But the rest of the car's tinted, we're going to leave it unmatching like that?
If you want to see your man frustrated, ask him to tint a window.
Okay.
The flames. It'd be kind of funny. The guys would probably like that because it pimps it out.
Okay, we're done?
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
So what happened? It didn't look like this morning. What happened?
There was garbage in there we didn't see.
Yes. Isn't that what happens in your relationship sometimes? Just when you think you've got it all handled, there's garbage that you didn't see that comes to the surface.
Well, especially when you first start dating, you've been together a couple years, you're thinking everything's all romantic and loving. That person doesn't have any garbage at all, that they're solved and healed and mended, and all of a sudden you're together for a couple years and everything's not the way you thought it was. Is that not the truth?
So you had lists. What did you find out that needs to happen?
We were going to change the tire, right?
Yeah, we were
Fix the
changing
tire.
the front wheel,
Uh-huh.
and we were washing the outside.
Maybe waxing, just depending on what it looked like.
Okay.
Why just depending on? Just a wash. Why not just go all the way and do it
spit shine the
all
mother.
the way?
I mean, is that what you've been doing in your relationship? Is
Yes.
just washing
Washing
a
over
couple
Don't want to get hot and sweaty
times and-
waxing.
Yeah, like what would waxing be when it comes to your relationship?
Topping it off. Going the extra mile.
Going the extra mile, investing.
Relationships, like everything else, need to be maintained, taken care of, looked after. If they're not, they will ultimately break down. I want to see which couple is going to have the easiest and the hardest time doing the work required to rebuild their relationship.
Oh, whoo! Whoo! Oh my God. I do not know what that is. They're
Yeah.
gonna have a really great time washing that car off.
What is this?
I think you're gonna have
Jen,
yes.
are you and him washing, right?
Right. And who's doing the upholstery?
Casey and Simon. Well, Louis already said he wasn't going to clean up the inside.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I
Louis
did.
said? Oh, you did? Why not?
You wanna
He's
hear
not
about
going
this?
to clean up the inside.
You're gonna have
I'm
to.
looking for a trash can. So.
You wait a minute. You just added. No, you just added to the
fuel to the
trash.
fire. That's all right. That's what
He
happens.
is. He
Isn't that what
added
happens?
fuel
I
to
did
the
it earlier.
fire. He's not cleaning up the inside, and then he's been throwing trash in it.
Lou is not cooperating with this exercise. The fact that he's adding trash to the car tells me Lou thinks this is all a joke.
Are Jennifer and Lou overreacting about washing the car? To vote from any mobile phone, text Y or N to 76898. That spells SOTXT on your mobile keypad.
Casey and Simon have to clean this mess up. So not only are you influencing your own relationship, but you're messing up their job.
Come here, Casey.
Simon, Casey, you guys got some. Did you see what's in?
Casey, what's this right here?
It looks like throw up.
I know when you agreed to clean up the inside, it didn't look like that, right?
Right.
But now look at it.
It's really, really dirty.
So when you look at what's really required, do you want to run screaming from the room?
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
I'll do it. Teamwork, cooperation.
My, how the tables have turned. Mr. Lou is having a selfish temper tantrum, which I suspect is demonstrating to Mr. Simon the codependent behavior he exhibits in his relationship with Miss Casey. Mr. Simon is finally stepping up to the plate.
They're both, everybody is bigger than me when it comes to getting in that car.
I just have to ask Jen this, Yama, because Lou is saying that he does not want to get in the car and clean up. So I'm gonna. Jen, how does it feel that your husband's not willing to go
do the dirty work?
To do the dirty work, go in, get in there, get dirty. He's avoiding a job. Does he ever do that at home?
Yes.
Okay. So how does it feel for you to have your husband announce proudly, by the way, "Hey, I'm avoiding this job, gang"?
I'm not doing it.
Because he's like proud of it. How does that feel for you to know that your husband refuses to do whatever's necessary?
I mean, I'm not.
Come on.
I'm staying out of the symbolic part of it and staying in my head about the literal part of it.
I simply, and will still say, I will refuse, and I don't care what you turn it into. I'm not touching that muck. I want to move right on past the car. I feel as though I'm already getting it. I want to push the car in the pool. The car means nothing to me other than sweaty and dirty.
How does it make you feel to hear a member of your community says there's a job that's okay for you to do that they wouldn't do, and they added to your job by throwing trash in the process? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like you don't have as much support for us as we thought.
Excellent. Listen. Simon?
That he should clean it up.
Okay, great. Good idea. You know what? Let's flip it. Lou and Jen are cleaning the inside. Simon and Casey are cleaning the outside. Because one of the things that disturbs me is your willingness to add to Casey and Simon's job.
That was really thoughtless on my part. I was thinking about the car and that it is a big trash can, and it was dumb not to think through it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, I think that, especially as much as I've been talking about the fact that I'm not getting in that muck, I feel the need to stick to that. So if we're gonna have to go there and you're gonna have to put me on that kind of spot where I could be jeopardizing my time at the
No. Men take responsibility for their actions, Mr. Lou. Take responsibility.
As Lou's telling Rhonda and Iyanla that he's not gonna clean out the car, I'm feeling anger. I don't think it's fair for the rest of us who are ready and willing to get in there and clean out the car for him to kind of disrespect us in a way.
Your responsibility being here was to participate, to heal. That was your responsibility. That to trust Rhonda and I, to trust this process.
It'd be sad for you to stand on your laurels or stand on some some sort of ego pretense and lose your opportunity with your wife here in the starting over house.
I'm telling you that
no, tell her.
No, you're not doing that. I'm not dealing with that.
You agree with what?
I'm not cleaning that up.
Oh, really?
I'm cleaning that crap up.
Oh, really? Why not?
Because
I'm not getting in there and cleaning that crap. This is codependency at its height. Codependency at its height. You're talking about saving your marriage. If you've got to drink money, excuse me. Yeah, but you know what? This is representative of what's in here. You don't think it is, but it is. The same resistance that you have to cleaning this is the same codependent resistance you have to looking at what's really going on.
And if you guys can't see
excuse me.
Oh,
excuse
you're right.
me.
I interrupted. I'm very sorry about that.
The same codependent. It was on the board. let's not look at our problems. Let's talk about our problems. Let's not really delve in. Let's just work on the surface.
Listen,
It's your healing.
I'm going to ask that I get to speak for a minute. I want to say that I don't want to be interrupted. I understand the metaphor. I understand what you're asking me to do. I understand that the symbolism of us getting in there and no matter how nasty, how dirty, how disgusting it is, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how bad it is. You must do it. You must be willing to clean out the crap. I must be willing to give you everything. I will take everything that you have. I will not go inside this car, this physical car with this physical nastiness and touch it with my hands. I don't care how they feel.
Lou is losing it on the car. I think he's blown everything way out of proportion. I have no idea where he's coming from.
If it's going to be a community project, then everybody has to be willing to do everything. And what I'm hearing is there's certain things that they are not willing to do, and that has created a polarization in the community. Look what happened. It happened. It's right in your face. They need to clean this car. They need to pack their bags.
Next on Starting Over, Lou stands his ground.
It is your resistance to doing the hard.
Couples get angry.
I didn't need it to be taken that far.
You're gonna get what you asked for. Lou has blown everything way out of proportion.
And the entire house is unprepared for what comes next.
Tonight will be your first board of review. If you're here just for the ride, we'd rather you not be here.
It makes me concerned that he's going to be asked to leave.